If you're feeling frustrated about the slow growth of your business, then it could be that you're making one of the mistakes that I'm going to be talking about in this video. How do I know? Because I made pretty much every single business and marketing mistake in the book when I was first getting started. And when I finally figured these things out, things changed. A lot. Now, I do need to warn you, some of these things are not going to be easy to hear, but they are things that I just wish someone had told me years ago, as they would have saved me so many wasted hours, sleepless nights, and those horrible feelings of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm when you're sacrificing so much and giving everything you have and it feels like you're not going anywhere or getting anything back in return and you just want to quit all of it, burn it to the ground, and give up on your dreams. Well, just in case you've ever felt that way too, let me take you back in time to when I first heard what I believe is one of the single worst pieces of business or life advice ever. There's this expression I'm sure you've heard before, which is that you learn more from your failures than from your successes. It's such a common saying that it's almost become a cliche, and it's led to a bunch of other similar sayings like fail your way to success. You learn from failure, not success. Failure is a lesson learned. Success teaches you nothing, and many more like that. It's become almost business and entrepreneur gospel that the only way to learn is to fail your way to the top. But I'd like to call BS if that's okay with you. And as someone who is no stranger to failure, I feel I'm qualified to make this claim. Because man oh man, I failed a lot in my life. I failed math a couple times in high school and had to retake it twice. Plus, well, on the topic of high school, I also failed physics and calculus, and I barely passed chemistry, and in college, I failed physics too. My first experience in business nearly wiped me out before I even got started when I just about fell for a get-rich-quick scheme when a high-pressure salesman used pretty much every sleazy tactic in the book. I then went on to fail at my next business, which was making skimboards that nobody bought, and my mom accidentally sold my very first prototype in a garage sale for only $5. I've lost money in real estate when I let my emotions get the better of me and sort of steer me in the wrong direction and leading to a very bad decision. I've lost money investing in stocks because apparently buying high and selling low is a bad investing strategy. I've lost money investing in people because while the vast majority of people are really, really good, well, some are not. And every time I try something new, any new endeavor whatsoever, whether it's sports or music or anything at all, I pretty much always fail miserably at first too. And sometimes painfully, as is the case right now where I'm trying to teach myself something new in order to ride a unicycle. The point is, trying to learn to ride a unicycle is it's a little more challenging than I thought, and to say that I'm off to a rough start would kind of be an understatement. Long story short, failure is a reality and it kind of sucks. And failure often hurts, emotionally, financially, and in the case of my unicycle experience, often physically too. And sure, there are lessons to be learned from each failure and from each mistake, but what a dumb way to learn. I mean, seriously, think of anything that you want to do or anything that you want to learn, and then think of all of the millions of different ways that you could fail at it. It would take literally tens, if not hundreds of different lifetimes for you to go through and make every single mistake so you could learn about all the wrong ways to do something. That's why the better, smarter, significantly faster approach is to learn from those who are already ahead of you. For example, let's say that you want to bake a cake. One approach would be to start going through your kitchen and just start mashing together random ingredients, mixing them all up and seeing what you got, and if it was even edible. Although I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna wanna try your eggplant, ketchup, salty, oatmeal sludge of a cake. Or you could get a recipe, do what they say, and then bam, you got cake. Sure, you may be able to improve upon it later, and in fact, you probably will. Adjusting your baking times, fixing or tweaking the ratios of ingredients, maybe even finding a completely new recipe altogether. But regardless, you're probably gonna end up with some moderate result of success, some edible, quasi-edible thing that at least loosely resembles a cake. And this was the lesson that I learned that turned everything around for me and that enabled me to be relatively successful at pretty much anything I try to do today. Not initially, of course. I mean, effort and sacrifice and hard work are still required, but eventually. And way faster than ever before. And I do this by simply modeling what other successful people have done before, learning from them, copying what they do, and then applying the lessons into my own life, into my own business, into my own goals, and the things that I want to achieve. And by looking at failure, not as a teacher, but rather as something that must be endured, as a natural part of the process, something that we just have to deal with and get through. You see, there's a hard truth that took me a long time to really come to grips with, and that is that there is no formula for success. All right, so there's a great book by Derek Thompson called Hitmakers, and I'd like to share with you a short section from the preface on why there is no formula for success. So here's why. If you've heard that there is a formula for success, somebody has discovered it. If one person has discovered it, surely several people have discovered it. If many people follow the same formula for success, the formula becomes the norm. If a formula becomes the norm, it cannot automatically produce hits, which are abnormally successful. If a formula for success cannot automatically produce abnormal success, then it's not a formula. So while there is no formula for success, there are patterns and behaviors and attitudes and habits. Things that people who are successful in doing the things that you want to do have developed or adopted or created that have enabled them to reach that level of success, which means that you can do the same, slowly but surely adding to your habits, each one building on the last, stacking up and compounding over time until the point that, well, success becomes almost inevitable, almost automatic, and to everybody else on the outside, it seems like you were gifted or lucky or talented because they don't know about all of the hard work and the sacrifice and the effort that you put in to get you to where you are today. Of course, one of the best ways to put the odds of success in your favor is to start by acquiring the skills and the habits and the attitudes that are going to give you the biggest return on your investment, give you the highest likelihood of success in business, in marketing, and in life. And this is why the next thing you're going to want to do is check out the video I have linked up right here on digital marketing, which is easily one of the most valuable skills that you can use to grow your business and to change your life forever. So make sure to check it out now, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, the next thing that'll really help you become a better digital marketer is to understand the differences between